I live alone within myself like a hut within the woods. I keep my heart high upon a shelf, barren of other goods. I need another's arms to reach for it and place it where it belongs. I need another's touch and smile to fill my hut with songs. It's a little poem I found a couple of years ago, and to tell you the truth, I have no idea who wrote it. It was recited in a movie, and I've always just liked the little poem, and I have a copy of it, and I just thought I'd read it tonight to open up. This is Mama Paul's Daily Diary, Day 3. Today would be Tuesday, October 29th, and it's before the actual debate. I'm a little late posting this. There were some technical difficulties. But what I wanted to talk about was over the weekend was mostly Bernie on two shows and Rachel Maddow specifically. The historian Michael Beschlow was on Rachel's show. Probably was Friday night, and he was talking about the severity of the situation, how it's getting worse by the minute, and the amount of news and information that Rachel Maddow brings us every night. And I found that I can barely end the day without watching Rachel Maddow's show. I've been listening to her for years. I think she's a real voice of tremendous, truthful journalism. She has spoken out against the people that sign her checks on a number of occasions, so she doesn't seem to be too well intimidated. And Beschlow went so far as to say, after he finished his little rap about the voting and what was going on and the Ginsburg nomination and all the issues of the day, he said to Rachel, he said, "We really need you. We need you." And her head literally hit the table. And lately I've been noticing Rachel's been getting more and more animated and more disturbed and appearing to be at wit's end with what's going on. So Michael Beschlow, we need you, and her head hits the table. I mean, it sort of says where a lot of us are at right now. In addition to that, prior to that, she had Bernie was on the show, and she showed a clip of Bernie delivering this really forceful speech last week. And Bernie was really loud, clear, focused, surrounded by American flags. There are like 4 or 5 or 6 American flags. The left-wing socialist looked more like a centrist American, and he sounds more like a centrist American. Now, usually when Bernie talks, he spends a lot of time talking about income inequality, which I'll bounce back to. But the whole time he spoke that Rachel showed, all he talked about was the threat to our democracy. It was absolutely remarkable to listen to Bernie talk for 5 minutes and not mention Medicaid for all, income inequality, and the climate change. It was, to me, stunning. That same night, Bernie is on. He's being interviewed by Bill Maher, and a similar thing happened. Bill Maher, it was the same thing where he pretty much defended the democracy, talked about the need to vote, talked about how we need to get out. All of us really need to get out into the street, and we all need to be voting. But he used the term "getting out into the street," which to me indicates sort of a march, maybe we need a few million people to march on Washington on November 3rd when the election happens, and let them know exactly what the results were. Anyway, Bernie was pretty adamant about this, and it was surprising to me how he didn't get into the income inequality thing, and I've been thinking about the income inequality, which I spend a lot of time sort of looking at, and it's remarkable to me that back in the 50s, 70, almost 70 years ago, back in the 50s, the income tax rate for the wealthiest people was up in the 90%, and the corporate tax rate was about 5 or 6 points higher than it is today. Now, with all of those kind of numbers, historically, I might be missing a point or so, but it seems to me that there must have been a left-wing pinko in charge to let this kind of thing happen. So I started to, I wasn't going to take a call, but hold on a second. Let me see. Yeah, hello? Yeah, who's this? Speak up. You're a little... Oh. How? How did you, yeah, how the computer, how did you get into, you're into everything. You want a correct, okay. Yeah, you're, the 50s, right. Eisenhower. So Eisenhower must have been a pinko, a Republican, a war hero and a Republican. So it wasn't, he wasn't a left-wing commie pink or anything like that, huh? Listen, Hal, you seem to know quite a bit what's going on. And how much were the really wealthy people paying back then? 91%? Are you kidding me? In 51, 52, 92% in 53? Holy Toledo! My God, how is it that we're back where we are today right now? These guys are hardly paying anything. Okay, well, the price of eternal vigilance, well, we obviously don't have much eternal vigilance, I'll tell you that. You know, I think it was Tom Hartman, democracy is not a spectator sport. You know, I think he might have something there. All right, listen, Hal, thanks a lot for calling and correcting. Any other corrections you need, give me a buzz. I'm right here waiting to hear. Thank you. Bye now. Okay, well, income inequality, the interesting note, the New York Times just a few days ago, one of these little side columns on wealth. We are the richest country and growing as the richest country in the world with the inequality worse than almost anywhere on the planet. We are equivalent with Slovenia on the inequality. The wealth was more unequal in America than in any other country. Poor countries are no longer catching up, which they were doing up till about 2000, and since then there's a reversal. The top 1% own 44% of all of the wealth in the country, and their share is growing. And when you give them a tax breaks, they don't seem to spend any of those tax cuts on anything other than throwing into a savings account, getting it into a fund, or buying more stocks. So wealth inequality is increasing radically, while the amount of money we've got is also increasing. That's it for today. Peace, patience, and persistence. Thanks for tuning in.